Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. I did a live stream to do a couple of news stories, and it all ended up in one. In all honesty, I did a couple of them anyway. A lot of question answering. So this is the first part, the slow death of DC Comics, where we talk about Zoe Quinn and Frank Miller and all the mistakes DC have been making or seem to want to make in order to make sure that they're not around in the near future. Have been up for a while. Did a couple of things for the Disney Channel and figured I wanted to record some news stories here. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff, well, that I used to, not going into like all the drama stuff, but still, I used to do something about what's going on in the industry as well as the comic book origins and all that kind of stuff. And considering those are kind of going down as we speak, I need to do something, but I figured there's a lot of stuff going on right now I wanted to talk about. One of the things, of course, it's already been talked about by a lot of people. Nerdette, for wherever she went, hope she's okay, did a video as well. It's about the Zoe Quinn thing and hiring of Zoe Quinn and all that kind of stuff. I, in all honesty, was not a part of Gamergate. I didn't really follow that. I only knew Zoe Quinn a little bit because I heard her attached to, what's that one feminist frequency lady who got three, that who I'm talking, Anita Sarkeesian. Yeah. Anyway, but I figured, okay, we need to talk about this because one, she kind of is failing upwards here. She's got this thing coming out, and it's very strange because the title of the character, I'm going to share my screen here. And I know this has got a lot of people upset, and I can understand. Where's my phone? Here you go. Here we go. All right. Is it there? Alrighty. I don't know who's in the audience, and should I edit this part? Anywho, I'm worried actually. Because of this Zoe Quinn thing. I'm a DC fan. I'm a huge DC Comics fan, as a matter of fact. And I have a feeling that DC Comics is... oh, hey, Eric Breen. What's up? Englantine's 24-hour live. Nope. I haven't been streaming 24 hours. I just did 4 last night. So I figured, what the heck? Let's jump on one today. But I really do feel like DC Comics is heading over a cliff right now. And it's not just because of Zoe Quinn. I'm going to go into that a little bit. I've got a few stories brought up, but a couple of them attach. The Zoe Quinn thing, of course, there's a controversy because she falsely accused a guy and he ended up committing suicide. And this has got a lot of fans outraged because not only is she given a book, which is a spinoff of from Batman Superman, it's called Deathbringer, of all things. It shows a big disconnect. It really does. In my opinion, it shows a big disconnect. Either DC doesn't know or they don't want to know. It's one of those things, right? Now, the book itself, had any other name been attached to it, I'd be like, okay, I want to check this out. It's about Donna Troy as she's becomes infected by the Batman Who Laughs, which, let's face it, DC Comics had no idea what to do with Donna Troy for the last, since Marv Wolfman stopped writing her. And it's kind of sad that they're treating the character like this, but it actually sounds interesting. So I would read this. Except for the name Zoe Quinn. I don't even know if I want to read this to do a review on it. I don't think I will. I don't think it's... I don't know. I probably will. But damn. Let's see. The Infected Commissioner Gordon, #1, along with Quinn's and Kirkham's The Infected Deathbringer, #1. DC Comics also announced Paul Jenkins and artist Jack Hibbert. Okay. That doesn't make sense considering we just saw him go through with the Batman Who Laughs, but I think they're kind of stretching this Batman Who Laughs thing out. I thought they did that with the Batman Who Laughs miniseries by Scott Snyder. Sorry, gang, not a fan. I wasn't a fan. Even Dark Metal kind of fell apart towards the end. I'm looking more forward to the Commissioner Gordon than this, just because of the name Zoe Quinn. But it's not just the name Zoe Quinn that has me worried about DC Comics. This is just telling me that they're not paying attention. They're reaching out, and it's like they heard a famous name and they're like, oh wait, that's Zoe Quinn. Yeah, she wants to write a comic book. Isn't she famous for something? Let's hire her. But they never actually Google, why is Zoe Quinn famous? Oh, this is something, they never do that. Yeah, and that's outrageous. Or maybe they would find out that people are upset, or maybe they're happy because in their mind, in their eyes, they think the right people are upset. Remember, everybody on this side of the culture war are racist, homophobe people that don't like anybody who's not a white male, no matter if you're a white male or not. They don't care if you're a black woman, they still think you're a white guy. Or you're like, oh, you're self depreciating or something like that. So maybe that's it. Maybe they did check it out and they just don't care because it's angering the right people. All I know is they are making some horrible decisions over at DC. They've been doing it for quite a while now, and it's sad. It's sad to see, because I am such a huge DC Comics fan. I really am. I do see them it's like they're kicking success away from them. Hello to Dakina. How you doing? GT Media. What's going on? Thank you for joining me. I'm doing, basically, this is just, I'm doing a few stories here. I figured I was going to do some videos, but I thought, why not do it as a live stream just for the fun of it? Now, look, I'm not one of these people who are saying the comic industry is dying. They're not going to stop making comic books. It might change to, and I've said this before, it might change to the point where old farts like myself don't like it. It might get to that. But the comic books aren't going away. They're going to go somewhere. They're going to be here in some shape or form. Comic book shops that have added in hobbies and such like that have learned that they need to do something else to survive. And that's what comic books are going to do. If it's not the floppies, they're going to go to trades. They're going to go to digital. Maybe they'll actually learn that $4 or $5 for a digital isn't a good price, and they'll bring it down when they stop doing the floppy copies. You never know. Let's see. The future of comics is paying $20 plus shipping per issue. No. That I'm going to talk about at the end of this. What started all this storm, bringing me back into the CG arguments and everything. Right here, actually, I'll give a little preview. No, I'll talk about it in a little bit. One other, because I want to stay on the same stories. Let's see. Jawa Express saying maybe they're stirring controversy to make sales, scrapping the bottom of the barrel of poor taste. Perhaps people will buy it out of morbid curiosity. That may be, Jawa. That may be. They may be actually seeing it as a viable solution. The future of comics is back issues. The future of your comics, but that won't help the industry there, Eric. Manga is the future of comics. Maybe so, but you got to start printing them in the right direction. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of people as well. Here's something else. Okay, this is the future. This is the dying future of DC Comics right here. The Dan Didio messing up the rebirth to bring back the New 52 nobody cared about. This is the dead future. And here's the disastrous past that's going to join that dead future. Frank Miller previews his next epic Batman comic, The Dark Knight Returns: The Golden Child. Yeah. I didn't read this article. When I heard it, I was like, oh, God. That was it. That was my reaction. And I remember when you could tell me that Frank Miller was going to be doing a comic book, and I would be, oh, yes, high five, woohoo. Frank Miller's back. I'd be that excited about it. That was, the Daredevil, the Dark Knight days, even leading into Sin City. I've said this before, and once again, I'll say it again. Frank Miller never left Sin City. Ever since he wrote that saga, he has only written Sin City. Oh, hey, I'm going to write Batman. Well, guess what? Batman is in Sin City. Oh, well, I think I'm writing Superman now. Guess what? Superman lives in Sin City. He just has never returned. And it's just gotten worse. Well, okay, no, I got to admit, I only read one issue of the Master Race, the Dark Knight 3, so I do owe it a look. At the time Chef Jack was here, he got that book. He was the one that was reading and reviewing it. Yeah, so the Dark Knight isn't done yet. 3 years after the Dark Knight 3, Master Race continued Frank Miller's epic Batman saga. Let's see. The golden child in question is young Jonathan Kent. Oh, Lord in heaven. The son of Superman and Wonder Woman. His older sister Laura was a major player in the Master Race, where readers saw she had inherited her mother's Amazonian discipline. All righty. So here we go, gang. Is that Jonathan Kent? Oh, my Lord in heaven. What are we going to get ourselves into? But here's some pages from it. I'm not excited. I wish I was. I really wish it was. This is me being negative. And I like things. That's the whole thing. Usually I'm like, all right, yeah, we got to give it a chance. We got to give it a chance. When I heard this, I was like, you know, it just goes right back to what I was saying. They hear a name. Oh, isn't that name famous? This time we know why it's famous, because 30 years ago, Frank Miller wrote some good books, and he's been coasting on those good books ever since. Seriously. When was the last time Frank Miller wrote a book that you were like, yes, that was so good? It has been forever and a day for me. It really has. Let's see. Wasn't The Golden Child a movie? Yes. Starring Eddie Murphy. Mr. DC Comics. DC is only interested in making controversial headlines. It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? And Nate the Childress saying, well, Bendis is doing a Bendis by doing another story where a hero reveals their secret identity. Thank you very much. Let's lead into that part about how DC Comics is just dying, man. That was the third thing. That was the last thing I was going to write. Okay, so I hope this is good. I really do. I hope it returns Frank Miller to Frank Miller status. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. I'm just, I don't know. I'll read the Master Race, and hopefully that'll give me hope. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, here it is. Actually, this is one that I really thought was interesting. It was from Bleeding Cool this time. And usually I don't like Rich, because he writes stories. It's like very bullshit. Anyway, here actually is. He calls Superman a cuck and everything. I thought it was kind of funky. So DC Comics has revealed their solicitations for 2019 December, and some gullible websites are falling for it. Both Superman 17 and Lois Lane 7 suggest that Superman is going to reveal all. No, not like Batman exposed himself in Batman Damn. Nope. No Dong of Steel here. Instead, the intended takeout is that Superman's going to be revealing his secret identity to the world, except for that's not what's happening. For a start, they did that not too long ago and had to rewrite reality to put that frog back in the box. So what he's suggesting is that it's going to be a tell-all from Lois Lane. Because remember, she was writing the book in Chicago, and she has been seen in public kissing Superman. So what they're talking about is it's going to come off as Clark Kent's, her marriage to Clark Kent is the sham, and she's actually married to Superman. And let's see. And also their son, Jonathan Kent, is now grown up all of a sudden and clearly wanting more of an independent life. We've got this of her walking in on him. Nobody wanted that. The suggestion is that Lois Lane this time around reveals that she is Superman's partner, but that the Clark Kent marriage is a front, a green card type of deal to disguise that she's Superman's other half. Cuck Kent, if you will, to use a rather unpleasant modern parlance, and a way to let Jonathan Kent be known and to operate only as Superman's son. So there you go. We've been through it before. I don't, you know, it's like I said, they did this not too long ago. I'm not excited, DC. Sorry, gang. I wish I could say something more. England teen has inspired me to be less crabby. Now look what he's happening. What am I to do? Oh, you know what? I am human, Eric. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it has to come out. Sometimes you just have to say, what the F? It's hard for me not to think that because they seem to just bow down and let Bendis do whatever he feels like. So, what's going on with that? I know, right? Hey, Professor Pixel, how you doing? I'm just going through some news stories. I'm just going through some stories today, doing like a live stream video, if you will. But damn, I was hoping so much for these titles. I mean, but Zoe Quinn, come on. She failed at Vertigo. Why? I mean, I could understand Tom Taylor. You know, we had this discussion. Tom Taylor didn't fail upward. He made money for Deceased. So getting Suicide Squad. Oh, okay, I could understand that. It makes sense. But Zoe Quinn, why? Why are you why are they continuing to mess up the marriage and the family that was so wonderful to read about in the in DC Rebirth, and they continue to do it? You know, I figured something out, and this is one. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to close the door on this whole DC thing. Is this the end of all the stories I had? It was all this DC stuff. So anyway, knowing Zoe Quinn, she's probably sleeping with an editor or 5. Okay, so I'm losing my train of thought here. It's like I had something very poignant to say, and then it's right out the freaking window, but thank you. Yeah, Eric, you could go back to being crabby. If I am, you can also. Superman, let's see. Because of people like Zoe who have victim status only get to fail upwards. I know, it does seem that way. It does seem that way, but come on. To ruin Superman, to ruin the family and everything. It was so great under Tomasi's run, and look what they're doing now. And here's what I was going to say, and I'm going to close the DC stuff out on this. It really does seem like DC's greatest moments were when Grant Morrison revived the JLA through, I mean, that was just an amazing time. And I think I realized something. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman were all strong at the time. You need these guys. You could maybe have one of them fall for a little bit. But if the Trinity aren't strong, then DC's not strong. And that's what's happening now. Wonder Woman is actually not bad, but she's only not bad. And she's better than Superman and Batman right now. And that should tell you guys something. Wonder Woman's okay. Superman and Batman haven't been good for a while, since Brian Michael Bendis came on, since Tom King decided that he needed to use Batman for his own psychotherapy. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's all I got to say about the DC stuff. Let me close these stories out here. So there you go, gang. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like and share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't done it already. Go on over to Old Man Comics. Type in Old Man Comics England Teen. Subscribe there, because as soon as that hits 1,000, I'm moving everything over there. That's going to be the home. This is going to be live streaming. Also, in the description below is links to Patreon and to Ko-Fi. If you don't mind helping out the channel, go drop $1 in the till. Certainly appreciate everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.